to radio, the remix in your soul. Indie beats and killer comedy, taking control. Got that rhythm, got that wit, a perfect blend from the start of the show till the very end. Spinning tracks, you never thought you'd find, expanding horizons.
Welcome to Take Two Radio, the remix. I'm Pam, your host, and I'm here with my trusty co-host, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hey.
We're very, very excited to welcome our very special guest, and his name is Peet Montzingo, and I think you probably know who he is. And those who don't, he's a content creator, musician, and author who's built a massive following through his humor, creativity, and authentic storytelling. From his early days in a boy band to sharing life with his family and being open about his journey with ADHD, Peet continues to connect with millions across social media. Welcome, Peet.
Wow, did you guys write that? Because I'm going to steal that. That was so smooth.
That is Miss Pam all the way.
All right, Pam, I hear you.
You can have it. I'll let you have it.
Yes.
There's no copyright on it.
Love it. Well, thanks for having me on, you guys. I'm super excited to talk about stuff.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Anthony and I are such huge fans of you and your family. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. I look forward to your daily content, and I watch your stories, and then I go to your actual Instagram profile and I look whatever you got there. You're just so much
geez.
fun, and you make my day.
Oh my God, well that just made my day. So thank you. I feel kind of awkward because if you're checking my stories sometimes, sometimes I put some suggestive things on there and I quickly take it down. So hopefully you haven't seen anything like that.
I don't think so. I mean,
oh, good. The remix.
I've seen a few comments that something must have been deleted.
Yeah.
Folks that are like trap bait and things like that.
I just had to throw that out there. Elephant in the room for me.
Yeah. Well, you've gone from music and a boy band background to building a huge presence online. So how did that journey really begin for you?
Well, I actually started, okay, ever since I was a little kid, I've always just felt like I didn't have the attention that I wanted. And I think a lot of that is because of the family that I grew up in, who all have dwarfism except for me. And so I think a lot of it was my own personal struggle with trying to figure out where I belong in that. And so I decided at a very young age, I'm going to move to Hollywood and make a name for myself. And I tried for a very long time. I ended up actually posting weekly vlogs and YouTube videos since 2009, 2010, like right at the start of YouTube. Just nobody cared. I got maybe like 100 views once and I was over the moon. I like threw a party for myself. And then I kind of just gave up and got recruited into a boy band randomly and traveled around the world, supported acts like Boyzone and Westlife, and was going to do a Jason Derulo leg of the tour in London. And then that's right when COVID happened. And the label was like, all right, it's been a great 8 years, but everyone go home. And I thought that was the end of my life. And then in the first week I was home quarantining, I didn't care anymore about what was going on. And so I randomly posted a TikTok because, what's this new app everyone's talking about? Everyone's bored, and it just kind of blew up. And then I quarantined with my mom to help wash her groceries as she got them when we all did that. And kind of the rest was history from there because we started making content together. So it's been like a wild ride of a lot of twists and turns. And, I'm trying to find my way back to music a little bit more, but we'll see.
Well, we will definitely talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on in the interview. First and foremost, out there, audience, if you haven't seen him with his mom, it is... They are a lot of fun together. I am a content creator and a writer, and I dabble a little bit in music. And I'm wondering, Do you ever feel pulled in too many directions, or that, the content creation is stalling the music, or vice versa? Or does it feed, does all the creativity feed each other?
That's such a good question. And that's actually something that I am going through right now specifically. So I released actually Party with the Weirdo, my first single in 2024. And I thought that I was just gonna have this whole other alter ego side of me, like the artist side. And then I am realizing through this last song that I've been working really hard in the studio the last like 3 or 4 months, almost every night. I'm like, I should tie these together. And that's kind of my whole release plan for this one, is something that kind of integrates everything. Because I realized, people like me, hopefully, for just me being me. So why am I trying to like prove something, or like be a little bit harder here, or, like I should just kind of, use my same voice in this way as well. And so that's kind of the goal.
So Madonna's got the reinvention lean, and you've got the integration lean.
Yes, exactly. And this whole career path is trial and error. Like it's the Wild West. Like there's no roadmap. And that's also what's been really hard, is because I really feel like I have been pulled a million different directions, but all because of me. And so I've had to learn that my ADHD is, you know, sometimes really intense, and I have to take a step back and realize, is this the smart thing to do? Am I just excited? So yeah, it's been a wild, like crazy journey.
How do you decompress? With constantly creating either something for TikTok or social media in general, or your
Mm.
music or whatever else you're doing in life. How do you handle that?
Oh man, I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm trying to just learn how to sleep again, because I've had maybe like 3 to 5 hours of sleep a night since 2020. So I'm like, I just got to get back to like my baseline. But I think that's also part of this industry, is that, mental health is a little bit of a trade-off, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that. And I have seen you stay up for days to
Yep.
get something finished. And I think to myself, Pete, please just go to sleep. It'll still be there when you wake up. I promise,
You sound like my mom. She says that to me.
I still hear my mom's voice in the back of my head. You'll have
Me
fresh
too.
eyes in the morning.
Oh my God. Wait, are you from the East Coast?
Yeah, New York.
Yep, there we go.
So you spoke a little bit about your family before, and anyone who watches the videos, of course, knows how much you bring them into the content. This is a two-part question. Do you ever kind of blanch at, or feel like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be posting this much with them? And we all know that social media, it can be the most beautiful, benign, wonderfully self, aware post, and
Well
you still
said.
get trolls. How do you handle the trolls? And how do you handle it with your family? Because it's not only you that they might be coming
Yeah.
after.
Well, funny story is, when I had my first TikTok blow up by myself at my apartment at the time, I told my mom, like, this is it. Like, this is my second chance. I gotta like really do this. And if I'm quarantining with you, you have to be down. And she goes, Pete, the world isn't ready for little people. If I get any hate comments, I'm out. But it took me like a long time for her to even, say yes to one. And the first thing that we did, I mean, it was actually beautiful. Like it kind of felt meant to be, because I think part of a strength of mine in my artistic part of my brain is that I think I can discern pretty well what's, how people are going to interpretate certain things. And so I think I've always kind of prided myself over the last few years, honestly, to be able to ride that line of like comedy, dwarfism awareness, self humiliation a little bit to get the point across, So I think I've always had really like a good handle on that from the start. And I think that's why it has even worked. And I think that's why a lot of people who comment on my things like are usually pretty nice, because I think that I can like strategize like that and make it worth it for them to feel some weight in that, if that makes sense.
Well, I hope other artists are listening to this, and
Yeah.
yeah, pull that, internalize that for themselves.
Yeah, and like I'll say on the the other side of the same coin is like I love trolls, and I I actually get so motivated when people like hate me or tell me to go, F myself or something, or that they say the M word, which is midget, if you're listening. That's just kind of derogatory for the dwarfism community. So like people will say these kind of things to kind of get under my skin. And instead, I'll, find where they live, find what school they go to, find their
Oh my
family, and then send them a little gift, in the mail instead. So I love it.
Oh my gosh. And it's what people just, I don't think, seem to realize these days, and that it is extremely easy to find out where somebody lives or
Uh-huh.
works.
Yeah.
Or to find their grandmother, because I have, I'm LGBTQIA plus, and I have been known to take the really, really nasty comments and
Oof.
screenshot them and find the grandma or their, or the
Yes.
elderly aunt or somebody, and
Good for
post it on
you.
their Facebook or TikTok or whatever.
And this is why, we probably would get along.
Exactly. Exactly.
Same brain.
Now, you have one thing in common with my oldest son. I have four children. My oldest son has severe ADHD.
Mm.
And so this is why I understand you. Um,
Oh
he
God.
didn't always put his ADHD to good because
Mm.
he was on medication from oh, kindergarten until he was around 16, and he
Wow.
quit taking it without our knowledge. We
Oh
kept
God.
giving him the pill bottles, but he wasn't taking it. And we didn't know it until we started seeing like what's going on here. And then he started acting up in school and such.
Yeah.
Thankfully, now he's older and he's not on medication quite like, let's put it this way, he smokes pot, okay? I'm just going to say it. um, and
Self-medication.
It's the wonder drug.
and it really, it helps him. It keeps him calm. It keeps him where he knows what he's doing at that moment and stays on task and works jobs and so on and so forth. So, with you being so open about your ADHD, how has that shaped your creativity and career path? Is it
Yeah.
push you more or does it make you hesitate more on doing
Oof.
something? Because, like you were saying before, you're like, well, wait a minute, is this something I really want to do or not? What do you wish
Yeah.
people understood about it too?
Oh man.
Mm.
Yeah. This is like everything to me because, I can kind of tie things back to certain attributes in my life or experiences, but I think at the base of who I am, it really is just this creative ADHD ball of energy who's learning to find where the lines are,
Hmm.
and I think it's a blessing and a curse, at least the way that I have ADHD, because I know for some people it's really, really holds them back or they can't get out of bed. And like, I think for me, it holds me back in ways where I get too excited and then I invest too much into something. And then I take a step back and say, oops. Or, I'll pull 3 all-nighters in a row and be like, oh, I have the flu now. I should have known that like I had this shoot tonight and I shouldn't have stayed up, like things like that. But then at the same time, it pushes me to get things done. It pushes me to like have kind of outside the box ideas, which I have kind of attributed to my success in some ways. So I don't know. I think it's just I'm always learning and I'm trying different meds all the time. I think we're all
Yeah,
just
that's what I was
trying to figure it
wondering if
out.
you ever took anything for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on Adderall. So
That's what
it's
he was on. Yeah.
but it's a slippery slope because, your body gets used to it and then you need
Hmm.
to be able to like have the same drive. You need to up it. But then the more you up it, the more awkward you are when you're talking to people or like you can't get out of your zone or. So
Yeah,
it's,
he said that it would make him feel like not himself, like he was inside his head and he was
yeah,
mechanical.
yep. Robot status.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's not good. You hate to push that down into somebody, and though we tried different levels and dosages and whatever, but he just
Yeah.
quit it on his own.
Is he doing something that he enjoys now? Because I found that was how I kind of turned a weakness into strength a little bit.
More or less. He likes to work with his hands, so
Hmm.
yeah, he does construction and stuff like that.
Oh, dang.
Mm.
Dang.
and that helps him. As long as he's making a paycheck, he's happy, you know.
That's so real. So real.
I think that you don't even have to have ADHD to feel that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Seriously. That's so
One thing
yeah.
that definitely comes through is you seem to be, and I'm sure the chaotic moments on that third night with only 3 hours sleep, etc., you're going in the crazy mode, but you seem to be having so much fun doing all of the
Yeah.
content and the music. I can imagine, stages in Japan and across Europe, and it seems to me like you go for the good time and the good experience of it. The rest of it, it's there and you experience it, but what you hold on seems to be the good. So I have to ask, do you have a favorite moment that you've shared with your family? And, if you had to pick one career moment for you, what would be your favorite?
Ooh. Um, I would say family wise, okay, my brother, for example, my brother and I have never really gotten along. Like we've been civil, but we're just so opposite in so many ways that we've never been able to relate on anything in our lives until videos. So it's in a way my favorite part about doing, these videos, and I feel like the family's been kind of brought together in a very like creative and unique way. And it's allowed me to like want to go visit my brother. And I've never had that thought in my life, So helps that I have my nieces too. But I think for just my favorite career moment, that is such good. I would probably say my first book, Little Imperfections, because
Oh,
I don't know if you guys know about this, but
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you that on my next question about your book. So go ahead.
all right. Um, I started this book like 2021, and out of the fear of 5 minutes of fame or 15 seconds, whatever the word is, and I'm like, I just got to get something out to monetize. I'm like, this is so easy. It fits in with my brand, and then I got a co-writer on it who's actually an author in New York, and um, we thought it was going to be 2 weeks because we already wrote everything. And then 2 years later, it became my passion project. Everything was about this book. I self-funded it. I was like, we don't need no publisher. And it was just such hard work, but so like fulfilling in a way that I can't really explain. Um, so I would say probably that.
Well, there's another thing we have in common. I love when you do the videos with your niece, Olivia,
Yes.
and my daughter's name is Olivia. So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And that's something. And so I bought your book for my daughter to give to her.
Oh.
Well, she calls niece and nephew, but it's her best friend's kids that she grew up with her best friends. So her kids are like her niece and nephew. And so she gave that book to them for Christmas. So,
Oh
and
my
they loved
gosh.
it. Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
See, I told you I was a fan.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Did you read it too?
Yes, it was so good. It was so good. I mean, you just don't realize some of the things that go on with different
Yeah.
things in people's lives when you're only seeing part of their life, especially on social media. I mean, of course, you share, your family, but if everybody wrote a book about growing up different, a lot of people would be surprised, including if I wrote one myself, and which I thought about, but I
You
haven't done.
should, first of all. But that's also why I wrote the book, is because yeah, it's nuanced with dwarfism and my family and all of that. But really anyone can write a book like that because it's just about everyone, coming to their own, like
Right.
understanding, So that was kind of the goal, I guess. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that you got it and you liked it.
Yes, so good. For our listeners, it's a children's book. It's called Little Imperfections, a tall tale of growing up different. And we get where the tall is from because it's about Pete, if for those of you that don't know. And tell our listeners where they can find it.
They can find it bookstores, online, Amazon. I have like a storefront, littleimperfectionsbook.com. Basically, just Google it and you'll find it.
I loved the YouTube series featuring the Cecil Hotel. So I was wondering if you could tell us, a little bit about that time period, making those, what you remember, and what the atmosphere, like paint the picture for the audience.
Well, this is perfect because now that apartment is my office and I'm standing here looking at it right now. So,
Wow.
so basically the atmosphere is very, I don't even know how to explain it. It's thick. Like before I even knew what the hotel was, and I moved here because I couldn't afford anywhere else. And so of course I went like to Skid Row. And so I just didn't know about the hotel. And but when I was walking outside, I would intentionally not walk on the same side of the street as that hotel because I just felt like the energy was thick. Like that's the only way that I can describe. It's just a little, it's just heavy and just a lot. And then when I found out what the hotel was, which was actually during my housewarming party at the time, because I was like, okay, this spot can be cool, a cool spot, I'm like trying to lean in. And then my friends were like, why the F would you move across the street from one of the most haunted hotels in the world? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then, there goes the rabbit hole. I'm all the way in. And it just was an interesting time period because it was a time that nobody was living there and they were doing construction on it during COVID. So it was already kind of like a eerie atmosphere in the world. I don't know, it was like a special time that I feel like almost brought my YouTube viewers and me together in a way because we would always do like sleepover live streams and like ghost hunt together. And I don't know, it was just very
Yeah.
fun.
Wow.
I watched that and I thought you've got a lot of courage at times, especially when you actually went into the place. But
Yes.
and then you would do like fling things over there and stuff, and I was just like waiting for somebody to pop out and like grab it, and you'd be like, ah, So
I know. I've pushed my luck so many times. I'm
yes.
lucky I'm alive, honestly.
I
As my mom would tell me.
know. Well, from spooky living to a new home, how has that changed your lifestyle, or has it? And does having your own space change how you create or think about your future?
Yeah, I think that was the whole intention in buying a house is somewhere like peaceful, somewhere where I can feel like I can slow down a little. But the funny part is like that did not happen because now you have a
Mm-mm.
mortgage.
No.
You're like, okay, I got the thing that, I was always hoping I would get in my life, and then like now what? So it's just it's one of those, I guess, times where I'm just trying to figure out like a good work-life balance and realizing that maybe my life right now should just be work, honestly.
Yeah, well, now what you do is you tie your bed to the ceiling so it swings and you make your sister roll under the bed to
Oh
sleep
my
under it
gosh.
with no little bed under there for her. You just gave her
Yes,
a
I
rug and a
did.
pillow.
That's a bed. She's lucky. I thought of her. But yeah, I mean, that point in case there, like when I try and relax, I'll just hang a bed on a ceiling. Like, don't
Yeah.
give me a space.
Like, and I have to tell you that some of the comments I make that your sister and your mom need to get revenge for all these pranks that you pull on them get a lot of likes. So we're
Do
still
they?
waiting. Yes.
Oh God. I feel like it's all gonna
I,
come crashing. Well, I'm telling
I
you. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
God. Okay, I'm counting to five. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, so I'm redeeming myself though because I have a song about my mom for Mother's Day coming out on Sunday, and
Uh,
she has no idea. She hasn't heard anything. I have no cursing in it because moms don't like when their son curses. And it's just a really sweet song, basically illuminating the fact that people are stopping to look at you not because you look different, but because you're actually beautiful. So that's
he
kind of what the
is.
song is about.
Yeah, she is. She's beautiful. She's not just beautiful on the outside either. She's got a great
Yeah.
heart, especially
Yeah.
Yes.
putting up with all your pranks.
Yeah. Bless
In
her.
like Pam was saying, I love some of the comments, where folks are giving your family ideas on how to get you, which, is always fun to turn the tables a little bit, even if it's only in fantasy.
Hopefully
But
they're
we,
not reading.
Right.
oh, one day, Pete, one day.
Yeah.
God.
But we are very lucky because we're going to drop this episode on Mother's Day, and
Yes.
you're going to give us the single to attach at the end of this.
Woo.
So tell us give us the title and just a little bit more about the theme of the song. I know it's for your mom, and of course you're
Yep.
not cursing. She must love my favorite, Party with the Weirdo.
She does.
I've got to mention it one more time. It's on 3 of my playlists, everybody out there, if you're listening, and it should be on at least one of yours.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit more about the song and drop all the various socials and where they can find everything.
Cool. So the song is called "And the Room Goes Quiet for You," and
Oh,
and it's about how she walks in and really everything is loud because everybody is basically flipping upside down because she's beautiful inside and out. Like it's that simple. It kind of reminds me of "Perfect" by Ed Sheeran, not another Ginger reference, but
Yeah.
and so it's like that's what I was hoping to do, like a really sweet Mother's Day song that doesn't have to be for Mother's Day. It's just like a love song. You can sing it to anybody. And I think it's really powerful. So I'm nervous because she might not react the way that I hope she does. She might not forgive me for my pranks after this, but a son can hope. My socials, if you want to check it out and check out my stuff, it is Peet Montzingo, Peet like the coffee. Just Google it. You'll find it.
you know what? For our blind listeners, spell your last name, please.
PeetMontzingo.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, I am
That
sure
makes
your mother's going to love it. And I am
Yeah.
sure that it's going to provide some more content for fans like Pam and I and the audience
Yes.
listening. I know
Thank
she's
you.
going to love it. Thank you so much for being
Yes.
with us.
Thank you,
Everybody,
guys.
listen to Pete's Mother's Day love song. Send it to someone you love. Send it to your mom. And after the song, you can get all of our socials and our information. This has been Take Two Radio, the remix.
Bye, everybody. Till next time.
And the room goes quiet for you. And the room goes quiet for you. You walked into the middle, twist a mess in a riddle, and you came in late. I can taste the hate. Jealous looks in the mirror, like you float on a river. As the whispers grow and the stairs follow and the music stops, you walk in like a sin. Every eye on you, no one makes a move. My imperfect danger, insecure, you're more. Look at what you did. Everybody is turning into
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Take Two Radio. That's with the number 2. For Take Two Radio The Remix, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Take Two Radio The Remix, again with the number 2. For all things Anthony and Sunday Edition, go to anthonycorona.com, and that's CORONA. Until next time, thanks for listening.